Welcome to Under the Hood Podcast. In this podcast, we pop the hood and give you an inside look at the hows and whys of our ministry here at Cornerstone Church. I'm Michael Nave, your host. It is good to have you with us for this episode where we're going to talk all things Renew. And here in studio, we have Holly Dodd, who is the original founding store manager of Renew.
Yes.
Holly,
hey
it's
guys.
great to have
yes,
you here.
I'm so excited to be here.
And Keith, we have our missions director who has stepped into All Things Renew recently. So good to have both of you. So as we talk All Things Renew, what I want to do is back up and tell the history. Like, not everybody knows where this whole thing started, a little bit of how it developed, and then Keith's going to talk to us a little bit about where things might be headed.
All right.
Okay, so Holly, help me tell the original story. Here's what I remember. Back in 2009, there's a little group of pastors from this region. They were going to visit this church called The Crossing, like in Quincy, Illinois. And I'm like, okay, let's take the road trip. And when I went, what I was most interested in was this multi-site thing, because when I came to Cornerstone, we already had West Frankfort, and we were trying to figure out how to do this well. And then I go up and meet the staff, and they talk about 2 secondhand stores that are funding missions. And I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. What if we could do that one day? Now, that was 2009. So Holly, how do you remember conversation or the vision starting for what became Renew? You named it. What became Renew? Where did that even begin for us?
Well, I first heard about it back when we used to have services on New Year's at the Civic Center in Marion.
The big idea. Yes.
Yep. And you all were talking about going there and all of that, and about the thrift store, and their multiple ones. And I had a background in retail, so that kind of stuck out to me, and it just stayed fresh in the back of my mind. And that was prior to Walmart, prior to any of that. And one of the barriers that you all had spoke about was, where would it be?
Right.
So in the meantime, while all of that, stayed in the back of my mind, kept staying there. And then we got Walmart.
We did. So 2012, we buy this old Marion Walmart building from Moshe Salagi Development, and we opened, so that was summer of 2012. We opened Renew before we ever had church here in this building.
Yes.
So how do we, give us a kind of a snapshot of what was it like when we first got started?
Well, it was very grassroots, we could say. We had no light fixtures or to turn the lights on and off. So we would come to the opposite end of the building in the dark.
I remember that.
Let ourselves turn the lights on down by what is now the restrooms by the cafe.
Yes.
Walk all the way back with our flashlights. That was one of the exciting things. We had, where our entrance doors are now, we had a garage door that we would roll up, sneak under, then close back. There was an attack by a bat at one point in time in the dark in the building. So yeah, lots of exciting things of that nature. We had a really good core group of volunteers.
We were 100% volunteer.
We were 100%
at first,
volunteer
right?
when we first started. Whenever we were little and small and just growing and getting our feet, we were 100% volunteer. And we actually still have Glenda Morgan, who was an original volunteer. We call her the Renew OG gangster of Renew, so volunteer gangster. Now
remind me, how many years ago did you come on full time?
Would have been, let's see, our youngest is in 7th grade. Was in 7th grade.
Everything's by the kids.
Yeah,
that's the way we do it.
Right.
He's a junior right now, getting ready to be a senior, and he would have been in 7th grade then. So
that's
whenever I came on full time.
All right. So now, as the Marion retail store managers, because we have the back, we have kind of warehouse. We also have Carbondale. So give us a peek into a day in the life of Renew today. What's it like now? So started bats and walking across the building to flip the lights
No
on.
bats now.
And
Well, we do have light fixtures now and on and off.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
So we can turn the lights on down by where we are. We have people on site as early as 7 a.m. Starting to, sort and get prep for the day.
Yeah.
And we have people here as late as 8 o'clock at night now. Whereas back then it was like, 9:45, we opened at 10 and we were out of here by like 5:15.
Yeah.
So in that we have, multiple roles now as we've grown and grown. We have warehouse workers, we have retail workers, we have volunteers, we have community service workers through the courts now. We have groups from different civic groups around town and schools and things like that come and volunteer. So it's just really a great experience.
And I would guess that most people that bring a little bag of clothing and drop it off or some extra stuff that they didn't need anymore probably don't realize what an incredible thing that they are a part of when they bring their donations. Like I'm looking at this list of House of Hope, Gumdrops, Lighthouse Shelter, Night Shield, Salvation Army, The Promise, the Restore Network, Kingdom Builders, the Children Home, Disaster Relief. These are some of the ministries that Renew supports, like significantly supports. When you look at what we do together, when somebody drops their stuff off and then it's processed and then it's provided to our community, inexpensive, affordable way, like it's creating a machine of missions. When as a director, what excites you the most? What are some things we've been able to do because of these donations, because of these sales?
I think one of my favorite things that we get to do is there's a thing called DonorsChoose.org. And a lot of the teachers are extremely underpaid for what they do. They put a lot of their own personal money into their classroom because they love their students. And they're able to post projects, wish lists to say, that they do that impacts their students as well as the students the following year and the following year,
right.
And keeps going. And we like to just go on and, occasionally when there's a match day or something like that, we'll bless as many teachers in Southern Illinois and their students as we can.
Yes.
I think that's one of my favorite things I like to do because it's just the rewards and the impact that it makes is huge.
Yeah. And you said, one of the things that you said recently was vouchers. So we're not only providing inexpensive purchases, and that goes to fund these missions. You also give a lot of things away when a voucher is given out. Tell me about that.
We do, particularly the one that we come into most contact with in the retail is the clothing vouchers.
Yes,
we do our best. Cornerstone Church, of course, issues our vouchers, but we also partner with over 47 different schools and agencies and things that have
47?
Yeah,
wow.
We're up to 47 now that have our vouchers because it's important to us to put it in the hands of the people that see the need every day. We're able to reach more people that way. And with that being said, they come in with their voucher and they shop, just like you or I would shop if we came in to shop and pick, three tops, 3 bottoms, 2 items of choice, the seasonal items. So if it's summer, they're getting their swim trunks and their swimsuit. If it's winter, they're getting their coat. And then a couple pairs of shoes and some socks. So, yeah. I think already this year, we're up over the 10,000 mark of clothing that we've given away.
Wow.
So there's a huge need, and it's super exciting to see people get to put together cool stuff that they like.
Yes. So Keith, in that, when we talk about vouchers and we talk about supporting all of these ministries, 47 schools, kind of give us, I don't know, just a little bit of a snapshot of what kind of funding are we talking about? Can you kind of frame that up for us?
Yeah, I think one thing that's important to remember is that the whole reason that we operate this ministry is to create those mission funds.
Yes.
And 100% of what we earn, essentially, after we have pay the bills, because we do have some bills that we have to pay, but all of that money goes to missions. I mean, it doesn't go back to the church. We don't do anything else with it. It all goes to missions. So effectively, we're doubling what the church is doing in missions by the work of Renew.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool. So to put some numbers to it, when we think about the Marion store and the Carbon store together, they will sell about $1.5 million worth of goods this year. It's
over
crazy.
$1 million. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and that's great. I mean, when you look at stores around our neighborhood, I mean, Renew's not only doing it well and doing it for ministry, but they're one of the best thrift stores in our region. So it's great.
And it stays local.
And it stays local.
Yes.
And after all that work is done, this year I think we'll produce about $300,000 worth of money to fund the various missions that you rattled off.
Yes.
So it's great. It's great.
Oh, it is so encouraging. You know, I think of that person like me who's dropping off a little bit of stuff there as a donation. And then it turns into $300,000 for missions to support really good stuff, the kind of stuff that we've already been talking.
Yeah. Every donor needs to know that that's the case.
Yeah.
You know, when they drop off whatever size donation that it is, we're going to put to good work. You know, It's going to be mission funds. It may, in some cases we can't use it, but bring it anyway. We'll recycle it and we'll get income from that as well. So, yeah, we appreciate all that good donations. We'll put to good work.
So, Holly, you mentioned that you were previously involved in retail before coming to Renew. Keith, you as well. As you've stepped into this new role as missions director, give us a little insight of what you have seen. And you went back to Quincy. All these years later, you went to see the Crossing and what they're doing with their secondhand stores. So give us a peek into this.
Yeah, I guess to start with, as I got acquainted with Renew, I'm really thankful for the staff that we have and the volunteers because, they're doing a lot of hard work. It's not easy work. They're taking stuff and processing it and
slinging
deciding.
Trash and cleaning.
Sometimes there's some trash involved.
Yes.
But yeah, they've got to go through the process of sorting it,
right,
pricing it, and moving it to the floor and putting it up and checking it out. There's a lot of moving parts to what they do. So it takes a great team, and we do have a great team, and we've got a lot of great volunteers involved with it too.
Absolutely.
So I am super thankful for that. Really thankful for the community too, because this would not work without folks in our community bringing the stuff to us. We're not buying any product anywhere. We operate solely off their donations.
Yes.
So this March, Renew celebrated their 10-year anniversary. So a big highlight of how that community has supported us over 10 years now. So
absolutely
incredible. And just to talk about Quincy, that's a great story when you think about it, because when you saw it, they had 2 stores.
2, yes.
And now they've grown to 11 stores. So they continue to flourish and do really well. And my trip up there, it's encouraging because I got to see, while there are 11 stores, man, our store in Marion is great. We're doing a lot of things really well. While they have 11 stores, our one store in Marion does twice the volume of their best store. So that was really super encouraging for me is that we're doing a lot right here in Marion. And the same point, we share some of the same challenges. So when we look at how do we deal with trash, how do we deal with recycling, staff issues, there's some similar challenges, and we were able to have some good conversations about how they deal with it. And that's a continuing conversation that we continue to share stuff back and forth about how we can improve. And sometimes there's some things that we can share with them as well. So we're glad to do that. We also took away some, I'll call it our to-do list.
Right.
There's some best practices that I think that they do, some opportunities that we saw to expand how we do. So you'll see that in the future.
Yes.
We won't pull back the curtain on that yet, but know that we're continuing to look for opportunities to grow Renew, to make it even better for the consumer, to grow the sales that we do, to grow the mission funds that we create. So we're excited about some of the stuff that we've got under the hood.
Yes.
To come out at a later time.
So talk to our church and our partners and friends. Somebody who's saying, "Oh wow, I had no idea. Like I just threw that in the trash," or "Oh, I had no idea of how this all stays local together. 300,000. We're partnering together." Holly, what would you say to someone who is like, "Oh, I don't know." How would you invite them to get involved or even be more involved?
I think I would say if you have a little bit of time and you're very limited and you're like, oh, I don't have time to volunteer, bring us your junk. It's real easy. Bring us your clothing that you're like, oh, I don't know if it would work. I don't think they'll use this. Put it in a bag, label it recycle. We'll take care of it for you because we're still going to draw mission funds from that. If you have, a few hours a week, come visit us. We'll get you right in the thick of things and get you down in the sorting and cleaning and those kind of things. If you have to where you can commit weekly, monthly, bring your group, your small group, your we'll find something for you to do. There is no amount of time that we've ever been like, oh, we don't know what to do. There's plenty to do, and we would love to partner with you and have you do that with us.
What a neat opportunity, Keith.
Yeah, one thing I just add on there, Holly has recently restarted is our pickup service. So, there's a lot of rummage sales, yard sales that are wrapping up. So we're thankful to get that stuff, the good stuff. But one thing that we really love getting is furniture. So if you have some good quality furniture but don't have a way to move it, we've got a box truck. Contact the store. They'd be happy to come take a look at it and arrange to bring it back for us. You don't have to move it.
Good. And so what's the story with recycle? Like, you actually create income from recycled clothes. You mentioned, hey, throw it in a bag, put recycle on it. If someone's not sure, that you would put it out on display to be sold on one of our racks.
Yeah. So with the clothing and the recycle, one of the biggest concerns for people is, is it going to end up in the trash? Is it going to end up in a landfill? Right. And we have partnered with a company out of St. Louis, which a lot of thrift stores, partner with them as well. And they put the stuff that we can't use, they give it a second and a third life. Yeah. They make insulation for Habitat for Humanity homes with it. Yeah. They make rag bags that they sell. They do like the fluff that's in playgrounds, like the bottoms of shoes, the rubber. They do that. So if there's anything that you can't use, that you don't think you can use, we are committed to sustainability and being able to not put it in the landfill as much as possible. So when we generate funds from that as well for missions. So
beautiful,
super exciting.
Beautiful. That is a great opportunity. Keith, what other asks or opportunities would you have for our people?
Thank you. Yeah, I'd say the first one is just pray for this team and for this mission that they're on. God's done an incredible work so far over 10 years. And I just ask for prayers that work continues so we can be a part of continuing to bless the region. We're excited about that. So would ask for those prayers. And I'd ask for prayers for our staff and for our volunteers. They do a lot of hard work, and there's a purpose behind it. So it's incredibly fulfilling work. But they could use your prayers as well. And bring your donations.
Yes.
Bring those donations.
Yes. Well, Holly and Keith, it is such a joy to have you in studio today. One of my favorite parts of Cornerstone's ministry is Renew Secondhand Store. The Nave family regularly is shopping at Renew.
You represent well.
I have something on. Carol Ann has something on. Last night, Trinae had something on from Renew. So appreciate the leadership that both of you have with Renew. And just this huge opportunity that our church, our congregants, our community has to get involved in a vibrant ministry that's making a difference. So thank you both for your leadership. Thank you for being a part from the beginning, Holly. And Keith, thanks for stepping in and challenging us to continue to grow what we call Renew.
Thank you.
Thank you.